Hi, this is Russell Murray from Delaware Business Incorporators. In today's video, I want to talk about an all-in-one business management software called Striven from a company called Miles Technologies out of Lumberton, New Jersey. Our company, Delaware Business Incorporators, is currently using this software for our business. If you have a business, you need this software. One of the modules in Striven is called Accounts Receivable, and specifically invoicing. This invoicing software is incredibly powerful. Since most businesses may need to invoice customers or clients, this capability is extremely important. I've set up a fictional business called DOE Enterprises for demonstration purposes. Let me show you how easy it is. So here's the customer. I've already set it up. And you go to this plus sign, and you go down to invoice. So the company name automatically fills in. Now the address has to be added, so we don't have a real address, so we're just going to put to be determined. Okay, so the address is set up, and in this case I'm just going to have the billing and the ship to address the same. Now you could have different addresses, and you can have multiple addresses as well. So for this invoice that we're setting up, we're going to set up today's date. We can have a multitude of payment types and terms, I should say. Make this a due upon receipt. It automatically assigns an invoice number. And then in here, you want to put in, it's optional. You can put in an order name that goes here, but we don't have anything we're going to associate that with. And then you can have multiple formats, invoice formats set up. And in here you can put a memo that doesn't show up anywhere. Memo field for John Doe Enterprises. So you go down to the item, and you can have all kinds of items set up. Now, because I'm an administrator, let's see, I thought we can actually add items right here with a hot link. But you can turn that on and turn that off depending on your business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up penny item. This way, if I do show a charge or anything like that, it's just going to be for a penny. But this is how easy this software is. Now, if I was just to set up this software or for this invoice for just a single invoice, I can do that. But I could also set this up as a recurring invoice too. Now this is really powerful. I can set the number of lead days, 0. Let me just show you that. Lead time is 10 days, then the transaction will appear in the queue. So I can put in anything I want in here. I can force it to automatically generate. So if it's unchecked, they will just be queued up. So you'll go to the queue and then you have to print them out or generate them. But otherwise, they'll just generate automatically. And you can set how often. So if you have daily invoicing, weekly invoicing, monthly, you can even have annually too. Now in this case, what you could do is you could say the next date is going to be 4/19/2022, and I'm going to do it on the 19th every 12 months. So by doing it every 12 months, it's going to be a year. I can also set this to be semi-annual too. And I can change when it's going to occur too. So instead of it having on the 19th every 6 months, I can have it on a specific day. So it's very powerful software. And if you're just going to have a limited term, let's say you have a contract or a customer or something, you can say, okay, end this after so many occurrences, or end it on a certain day in the future. So let's say we're going to end this on 2025. So that's how easy it is. It can have no end date. Let's see, we'll do one occurrence in this case here. And that's how you set up a recurring invoice. So let's save this. And the system gives us the ability to send out invoices through email. So you can have a default email will set up, and then it will fill in the information. And so the customer will get this information when we hit send. So once it's generated the invoice, now you're going to have some things up here that change. So we could receive the payment from the customer, give them a credit, apply the credit, we can void the invoice, and we can print the invoice. So I'll show you when we click invoice for direct customers, which is what we just called one of our, let's see here. For some reason we had oh, here it is. So you can see in this invoice format can be completely altered and changed. We just happen to set it up this way and put some hot links in there for people to make it easy for people to pay. But all this information is completely customizable. So I'm going to close out of that, and I'm going to go back to my invoice here. And so, once I generate that invoice from a PDF, then I can actually print it out. You could also email it, which we already did. You can apply credits. You can add an attachment. This software is so easy to use, so common sense. Here's the audit log, so it's going to show us everything that occurs on that invoice. And this audit log is all throughout the system. It can show a posting journal, so we've generated it, we just haven't posted any payment against it. It will also show you history, so we can see, so if there was more than one thing here, we would have multiple days that we could go back. So every time there was a new version, it would show. Very powerful software, great features. You can share this particular invoice as a URL to a colleague or to the customer. And then if there's any related transactions, so if there was a payment on this, it would show it here if we had already generated a payment to apply to it. If there was a sales order that was associated with it, that would also be displayed there too. So that's invoicing, and I am going to void this so we don't have that in our system. So now we have a void, so now it'll show voided, so that nothing will show up on that. I'll also get rid of the recurring. And so that is one part of invoicing. There's a lot this system can do. You can show your transactions, you can list your recurring, your journal entries. So the invoicing is just a small portion of this. And in later videos, I'll go into more detail with that. Thanks for listening.